Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with another live for the night. You know what I mean? On a little bit later than usual, but it is what it is. I'm just getting home not too long ago, man. Shout out to the nation, shout out to the mob. We in the building, of course. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Slime in the building. Lorenzo, what up? Selfish Santana, what's good? What's good? I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful night. You know what I'm saying? Definitely chilling, bro. Can't really complain. Tesla, what's going on? I ain't see you in a little bit, man. How's everything going with you? Shout out to you. One of my biggest supporters. Shout out to Tesla. Jay Cash, what up? What up? That's my guy right there. He had a funny ass response to one of my stories on Instagram. Shout out to my boy Jay Cash. You see what I'm saying? We got some things that we need to talk about, of course. You know what I mean? I had just put up two videos not too long ago, man. My apologies for that. I had scheduled for that video to upload around 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? I was under the assumption that it had posted, but it didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I had to pretty much delete the one that was loading and then re-upload it. It was, content creator problems, you know what I'm saying? Just little technical difficulties, I guess. You see what I mean? But got the videos up right now, man. I apologize for not posting earlier in the day. You know what I mean? That's my fault. You know what I mean? I should have did my due diligence on my part. But check out the videos, man. I was talking about Javante Davis ducking counter Ben. And then I posted up um I had posted up a clip from one of my supporters that pretty much has a TikTok dedicated to my channel. You know what I mean? It's called Mazuma TV Clips, I believe. A real good supporter of mine, man. Real genuine dude, real positive dude from the conversations I've been having with him. So check out Mazuma TV Clips on TikTok, man. He definitely helps me get my content out there. You know what I mean? So it's very much appreciated. But we got 11 people in the building, man. Hit the like button as soon as you come in, man. Just like my homie J Cash said, hit the like on the way in. You feel me? I support that 1,000%. You know what I mean? I back that message 1,000%. J Cash says, brother Javante Abdul Wahid Davis need to make up his mind on what he want to do or retire. All right, let's speak about that briefly. You know what I mean? Because um, I don't. I think a lot of people not really speaking on exactly what's been going on with PBC. You know what I mean? It seems like there's a lot of difficulty going on with PBC. Apparently, Canelo's going to be making a big announcement soon. A lot of people are speculating that that announcement is him, leaving the PBC deal due to the fact that they weren't able to fulfill the obligations that was in the contract. And usually, when the person that's providing you the contract isn't able to fill in their obligations, I believe the contract is voided, and essentially that fighter is free to go in certain circumstances. You know what I mean? So they were speculating about that, or that he was going to announce this fight against Jamal Charlo. You see what I'm saying? But regardless, um, that I don't know. There's some things going on with PBC, man. It's a lot of I don't know, man. It's just a lot of question marks over on that side. So I think Javante Davis is stuck in a situation. People bringing up legal issues may be the reason why he's not coming back right away. They've also been speculating that he's not liking the money that's being presented to him. Like there might not be a guaranteed. There might not be a guarantee at all, from what I understand. You know what I mean? Because I was under the impression the entire time that they were doing this deal with Prime that they will be, you know what I mean, putting some bread up. But apparently they only providing the platform. And it's pretty much, if you want to get a bag, you know what I mean, they got to put it on pay-per-view, and you just getting a percentage of the pay-per-view. So I think a lot of PBC fighters are going to be upset with this situation. I think that's why Javante Davis been unhappy, throwing shots at Al. You know what I'm saying? Throwing shots. I think I don't know if he threw a shot at Floyd, but he has a history of doing that as well. You know what I'm saying? So um, I don't know. I don't know, but Javante Davis is pretty much uh, stuck in the mud right now. It almost seems like a lot of these fighters on PBC are inactive. They've been speaking out against their inactivity. It sounds like they becoming impatient. You know what I mean? That's just what I'm noticing so far. But yeah, that's pretty much. Uh, yeah, so I agree. Yeah, Javante definitely needs to. make a move ASAP. You know what I mean? If he wants to keep his momentum going, because we've seen inactivity kill out careers with guys like Demetrius Andre, Keith Thurman, etc. So, I mean, Javante got to bounce back quick, man. It looks like Ryan Garcia gonna have 2 fights before Javante Davis come back, and he the one who lost. So people got to really make up their mind on what they gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Slime says, in my personal opinion, if Tank don't fight someone I'm guessing you meant to say of high caliber, niggas around the world should look at the pay-per-view and say, nah. I mean, absolutely. I think that applies to any fighter in general. Like if there's a demand for this fighter to fight a particular opponent, right? Like there's a strong demand for it, and they're going on pay-per-view and fighting guys we don't want to see. I think that fans have every right to boycott the fight. You see what I'm saying? Like if Canelo Alvarez, um, the biggest fight for Canelo Alvarez that's in demand right now is obviously the David Benavidez fight. My personal opinion, I think that's the biggest fight to be made in boxing right now. That's just my personal opinion. You feel what I'm saying? With the U.S. people gonna be backing it, Mexico is gonna be behind it, bro. They looking at it. They could be looking at it like a passing of the torch, or trying to see if the older, more experienced dude still got it. You see what I'm saying? It's a legacy fight for both guys. So, yeah, man. So I really think that that's the biggest fight to be made in boxing. But let's say Canelo Alvarez says F David Benavidez and then goes on to fight Jamal Charlo and puts it on pay-per-view, which will most likely happen. You see what I mean? I think that fans have every right to say, no, we're not paying for this fight because this is not what we want to see. We don't want to see an inactive Jamal Charlo get in the ring with Canelo Alvarez over David Benavidez, who's available to fight right now. You see what I mean? It's not like David Benavidez got a fight schedule. No, he does not have anything lined up. He's available just like you're available. So why are you not locking that fight in and fighting Jamal instead? Bro, we don't want to see Jamal. See what I mean? Give the thumbs up. You know what I mean? Hit the like button. You heard what the camera said. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, that's it's pretty simple. Like fans have the right to boycott fights if it's not the fight that they want to see. Why that's like paying for an item at ShopRite that you know you're never gonna use. You know what I'm saying? Why would you purchase this product if you know that it's not gonna benefit you in any way? That's how I look at these fights. Like if this isn't something that I want to see and it's not gonna continue moving the culture forward in boxing, why would I support it? You know what I mean? It don't really make any sense. Like I don't understand why guys were paying to see Jake Paul fight old UFC fighters. Why are you paying pay-per-view to see him fight them dudes? Like, what is Jake Paul gonna get out of this situation besides a nice bag? You know what I'm saying? What does this do for the sport of boxing? How is this uh entertaining you as a boxing fan? It does nothing for the sport. You know what I mean? If you're a true boxing fan, what you should be supporting and putting your money up for is fights that's going to help the sport grow or move or continue moving forward towards progression. You feel what I'm saying? That's just my personal opinion. You feel me? We got 10 people in the building, man. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in right now. I'm guessing people ain't get their notifications. Usually a few more people that come in than that at this point in time. But fuck it, we still gonna rock. You know what I mean? I ain't really tripping off that. So I want to share this article with you guys because I feel like this was something that wasn't really spoken about either, and maybe that's another reason why people not tuned in. I didn't put uh Javante Davis name or Devin Haney name or anything like that, so maybe people don't really care to watch. But regardless, I'm gonna pull up this article by Boxing Scene, man. Shout out to Boxing Scene for this. It was an article that was just posted up earlier today, and it's by Keith Idex. So shout out to him for providing this information with me, so I could create content for you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna share this screen right now for you guys to see. Let me see. And this is an article, like I said, from Boxing Scene, man. Shout out to them. And this is the headline. So apparently in this headline it says Arum, as in Bob Arum, expects Shakur Stevenson to fight opponent to be determined in June. Stay with top rank long term. So when I read that, I was like, what the hell? What's going on with that? Because in all honesty, Shakur Stevenson most recently, from what I've heard, just turned down like a $15 million deal with top ranking Bob Arum for like 5 fights or whatever. So you do the math, it's $3 million a fight. You feel me? So He just turned down basically $3 million a fight. And he's been making it clear that, he got this one fight left and then that was it. But according to Bob Arum, he has this type of feeling, or he just seems very confident in the idea of Shakur Stevenson signing an extension with Top Rank. So let's get into this article a little bit, man. Hit the like button, of course, if you appreciate the content. According to this, it says Bob Arum anticipates one of the most talented fighters his company promotes to extend their partnership. Bob Arum replied that it's, on quote, not even a question when asked by Boxing Scene whether Shakur Stevenson will sign a contract extension with Arum's Top Rank Incorporated. According to a report by ESPN.com's Mike Cobbinger last week, Stevenson turned down a 5-fight, $15 million contract extension offered by Top Rank. The three-weight world champion has one bout remaining on his current contract, but the 26-year-old Stevenson revealed recently that he was going to retire right in the crux of his physical prime. Arum didn't take Stevenson's retirement talk seriously, thus discussed Stevenson's next fight with James Prince, Stevenson's manager, and Antonio Leonard, co-promoter, and the Top Rank card headlined by Teofimo Lopez and Jermaine Ortiz Thursday night in Las Vegas. So I don't know if that's kind of confusing to y'all because, like I said, Bob Arum seems pretty confident that Shakur Stevenson is going to be signing an extension with these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And he said it's not even a question. It's not even a question whether Stevenson will sign a contract extension with Bob Arum. But then at the same time, last week, Stevenson just turned down a 5-fight deal with them. So what's making you so confident that Shakur is going to sign an extension with you if he just turned down a pretty solid deal that you just offered him? Are you confident because you're going to offer him more money that he can't refuse? I don't know exactly what's going on with that, but let's continue reading further. Let's see if they provide something that stands out at all. So it's another quote from Bob Arum. He says, I talked to Prince and Antonio at the fight Thursday night. Shakur is going to fight in June, and we got to figure out an opponent for him. So he's telling you right now that retirement shit is cat. It's cat. And Shakur Stevenson will be back in the summer. You know what I'm saying? He seems pretty confident in that as well. And they're trying to figure out a particular opponent in this situation. Now, most likely, because Kambosos and Loma going to be fighting in May, that is highly doubtful as an opponent for Shakur Stevenson. As a matter of fact, it's not an option, period. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna come back off of a fight and then within 4 weeks they back in the ring with Shakur Stevenson. That's not gonna happen. So you could cut them two out of the equation. Emmanuel Navarrete is about to fight for the WBO at 35, so you need to cut that out the equation. You feel me? Because that's not likely neither. Now, Jermaine Ortiz, will he go back down to 35 to fight Shakur in June? Possibly. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know exactly how that will work. I don't know how long that cut is going to take to heal. There's some, I don't know. You know what I mean? It seems like he's pretty limited. So I'm assuming that they might have to go down these WBC rankings in order to get Shakur a fight, see if somebody want to take the chance. You know what I mean? I think they named some opponents in this list as well. Actually, they did. So it says Stevenson owns the WBC lightweight title, but finding a high-profile opponent for Stevenson's next match might prove to be difficult. 2 of the 3 top 35 contenders Top Rank has under contract, Vasily Lomachenko and George Kambosos, are going to fight each other. So just like I said, Raymond Mortaya, who's actually a really good lightweight, unproven at this particular time due to, not getting the opportunities, but he's a legitimate problem, 19-0 with 16 knockouts, is the 3rd above mentioned lightweight contender under contract with Top Rank. So this fight might be possible. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if Shakur Stevenson and Raymond Mortaya end up fighting in June. You see what I'm saying? I don't see Raymond Mortaya turning down this opportunity at all. Now, I do favor Shakur Stevenson to beat Raymond Mortaya, in all honesty, but he's a legitimate threat, and I think he's been flying under the radar at lightweight for a very long time. He's been very impressive to me. I've seen him fight several times on Top Rank's platform. I've seen his fight with Jeremiah Nakatila, right? Let me see. I think it was Nakatila, the one that Shakur Stevenson was being real respectful of his power. You know what I'm saying? So wait, was it? Let me see. Yeah, he fought Nakatila, the one that Shakur Stevenson was being real cautious with, and um said that he had legitimate power. Raymond got him up out of there fairly quickly. You know what I'm saying? He heard him and he was able to get the stoppage. So they got a common opponent. They have they have an opponent in common with Nakatila, and this fight might be it'll be a good fight. You know what I mean? It'll definitely be a good fight, and he may pull some problems for Shakur Stevenson, being that he's a pretty solid puncher as well. And you see that Shakur Stevenson, not that I'm not going to ride with this statement that Tiafimo has been saying that Shakur Stevenson don't like getting hit, and I don't think anybody likes getting hit, especially if you're a defensive specialist like Shakur. But he pretty much said that he's like scared of like punchers and shit. I'm not going to necessarily rock with that entirely, but you see that Shakur do get on his bicycle whenever he feels like somebody's power may be a threat to him. You see what I'm saying? So he might pull some problems for Shakur Stevenson, more to Talia might. You know what I'm saying? And then they just mentioning a bunch of dudes who, not really relevant at this present time in terms of having availability for Shakur, and that's Isaac Cruz. Obviously, he about to fight Rolly Romero, so that's not something. William Cepeda, William Cepeda, you know what I'm saying? He's about to fight Maxie Hughes. You see what I mean? So all these dudes is just caught up with uh different opponents and different fights, they got fight dates already. Of course they mentioned Javante Davis, but Javante Davis, there's rumors about him fighting in the UK and things of that nature. It's really up in the air whether it's really up in the air whether Javante Davis is gonna come back this year or not. You see what I'm saying? Rudy G says Shakur can move up to 140. That's definitely a option. I never disputed that at all. It seemed like he was willing to go up to 140 to fight Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sure he would do it. But I think that he's more hell bent at being at 135. He said he makes 35 easy. That fight with De Los Santos, I seen that man eating big meals the week of the fight. You see what I'm saying? So he has no trouble getting down to 135 at all, which makes me question whether he could still make 130. Because in all honesty, bro, it was kind of funny how that whole situation played out. He just missed 130, and then all of a sudden, I think that he did that strategically to have a reason to go up to 35, because I think that he thought that when he moved up to 35 that big fights would happen. But it just so happens that Shakur Stevenson came up to 135 at a point in time where the guys who were already there just started to move up. Teofimo moved up, Devin moved up, Rolly moved up, I believe. Well, yeah, obviously he's a champion at 140. So like a lot of these dudes are just leaving the weight class. You know what I mean? He's pretty much left with like the scraps. You know what I mean? Like Lomachenko, who knows how long he's gonna be active and before he retires. George Kambosos isn't of the elite. It's not necessarily a big fight. Um, who else is at 35? It's like essentially all them guys moved up besides Javante Davis. You feel what I mean? But Javante, he move on his own time, bro. You know what I mean? You can't really tell Tank nothing. You know what I mean? Whenever he ready for you, he ready for you. And that's just it. He not moving on anybody else's terms. He don't give a fuck about what the fans want or anything like that. So I think it's just safe to rule out that. And you heard Calvin Ford, he was like, why would we fight Shakur Stevenson if we can't do what we do? You feel what I mean? So they just I don't know, bro. They just be moving funny style over there. So I don't even want to acknowledge Javante as a possible opponent for anybody, because it seems like Javante don't want to fight anybody uh, that the fans want to see him fight. Plus, him faking retiring irked some folks, including me, because I knew it was immediate cat. I mean, we all knew that. You know what I mean? It just sounded like Tiafimo. When Tiafimo said he was retiring, I'm like, bro, no, you're not, bro. Like, shut the fuck up. You're not doing that. You feel what I mean? But I think it's just to get some type of attention. You feel me? It just to get some type of attention, get the headlines talking about you. You know what I mean? So you could gain some type of relevance. Had the fans want to see you back again, or I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, like that person that be on social media talking about, man, I'm done with social media. I'm getting off, and just so people could be like, nah, bro, stay on here, man. Like yeah, man, we like seeing you on our timeline, and then most of the time when people say that shit, like, oh, I'm done with social media, I'm never coming back, they always find a way back any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's just like a cry out for like attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I look at it. You feel me? I knew it was immediate cap. Tiafimo cap. Shakur Stevenson capping. You know what I mean? Bob Arum telling you that he capping. His own promoter is like, bro, we don't believe that shit over here. He gonna fight in June. We just need to find an opponent for him. Not only that, he's also saying that he expects Shakur Stevenson to sign an extension with him. I didn't hear him say that about Bud when Bud was about to become a free agent, but suddenly he's so convinced that Shakur is about to re-sign a deal with him. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if Shakur signed an extension with Top Rank though, because in all honesty, um, Bob Arum might, entice Shakur like, yo, like if you re-sign with us, we'll give you the Navarrete fight, we'll give you the Lomachenko fight, we'll give you the Kambosos fight, or we'll give you all these fights. Like like the same thing Bob Arum told Terrence Crawford that he'll get him the Manny Pacquiao fight, and then turns out he didn't end up getting the fight for him. You feel me? And I think that's the reason. That's the reason why Terrence Crawford went out of his way to re-sign with them in the past. You feel me? So I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Arum was like, yo, we'll get you this, this, and this. I mean, you just got to sign another 2, 3 years with us. I wouldn't be surprised if Shakur signed that dotted line, bro. So you hate that be more accent? Nah, but that's how they be. He was like, we do what we do. Like, bro, shut up, bro. Y'all niggas be acting like cold turkey over there. Y'all be making B more look bad sometimes. I ain't gonna hold you. Anonymous says, I've definitely lost some respect for Tank with some of the antics and maneuvers he's made recently. If he doesn't make a good fight happen this year, I'm just going to tune out any Tank boxing combos. I mean, you frustrated, bro. You're a frustrated fan, just like everybody else that's on this channel. You know what I mean? You think we want to be frustrated? You think we want to talk negatively about Javante Davis? No. But when we're asking for something constantly, and it's been years, bro. It's been years, like since Tank been the champion at 130 pounds. We've been demanding fights from him because we genuinely want to see the guy fight. He's a gifted fighter. He's talented, exciting fighter to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be at the edge of your seat every time Tank fight because within a moment's notice he could put somebody lights out. You feel what I mean? That's an exciting fighter to watch, but we got certain opponents that we want to see him go up against to see how he will deal with them, and we never get what we want. Like we could look back at 130 pounds, whether we talking about Gary Russell, who's a 126 pounder, didn't want to give us that fight. Tevin Farmer, who actually ended up grabbing the belt that Javante lost on the scale, the IBF title at 130 pounds. We didn't get to see that fight, which I thought he would have smoked Tevin. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think he would have smoked him. But regardless, we didn't get to see that fight. And that was at 130. Lomachenko, we did not get to see that fight. When Loma was out here snapping at 130 and calling out Tank, we could not get that fight. So that's 3 fights right there. Gary Russell, um, Lomachenko, and the one I just named. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit fucking tired right now. So it was Tevin Farmer. So you see what I'm saying? Shout out to Go. What's going on, man? But we couldn't get those 3 fights at 130. And I'm sure there may be some fights that I left out. But going on to 135, obviously, I think Javante touched 135 in like 2019. I don't even know how long ago that was, but regardless, since then we asked for the Devin Haney fight. We wanted to see that fight around 2020. Yeah, I mean 2019. Couldn't get the fight. When Tiafimo was at 135, it wasn't the most demanding fight, but we requested that fight as well. Couldn't get the fight. Ryan Garcia, that was in demand, but it wasn't he took the Ryan Garcia fight. You know what I mean? But they had failed negotiations in the past. Then who else we talking about? Shakur Stevenson, we asked for that fight. His coach is telling you that because of his style, they don't really want to look at that fight right now. You feel me? So it's just like every time there's a fight that's presented, every time there was a fight that's presented that we may believe may be a competitive fight or a tough fight for Javante, they don't want to give us the fights that we want. They just want to let everything marinate. They want everybody to fight each other so they could get the damaged fighter at the end. I don't be understanding it, bro. Tank Davis still the face of boxing? I don't know that. I don't know that. I don't know if he's the face of boxing. I mean, if we talking about numbers, yeah, he's one of the most popular guys in the sport. But there's still fighters out here that's doing crazy numbers. Like Canelo's still doing crazy numbers. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know that. And I'm not going to just. What that sounds like is even if he's not fighting nobody, what I mean, he still get a pass. He don't get a pass over here. You feel me? Thoughts on Michelle Rivera calling himself the reincarnation of Muhammad Ali? I think that's absolute blasphemous. I think Michelle Rivera need to create his own identity and get the fuck off Ali's sack. That's what I think. You feel what I'm saying? Like you look like him. All right, yeah, you look like him. But just because you look like him don't mean that you the reincarnation of him. You feel what I'm saying? You also test positive for a banned substance. Don't act like we forgot, nigga. You feel what I mean? You got a million excuses after you lost to Frank Martin. You got cooked, you got smoked. You feel what I'm saying? Don't disrespect Muhammad Ali like that because although Ali did lose, you know what I mean? He did lose fights in the past and things of that nature, bro. You may look like him, but you're not him. You know what I mean? Stop wearing them black and white those trunks that Muhammad Ali used to wear. You be trying to be light on your feet like Ali, bro. You lucky that not his grandson Nico Ali Walsh is a nice guy because if I was his grandson, I'd slap the dog shit out you for, you know what I mean, trying to impersonate, you know what I mean, my grandfather. For real, for real. The reincarnation of Muhammad Ali. Who the fuck you think you are? I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know. Some shit be flattering to other people, but for me, that shit irritates me, bro. Me personally. You feel what I mean? I don't know. Like, bro, create your own identity, bro. You're Michelle Rivera. You know what I mean? He kind of looked like Tito Trinidad too when Tito was coming up. Let me see. Let me see if I can find a picture of like a young uh Tito Trinidad when he was coming up, and then I put Michelle Rivera. You know what I'm saying? Michelle do look like that nigga a little bit. And your name Michelle, nigga. Fuck out of here. Nigga, your name Michelle. You trying to be like Muhammad. You might as well go change your name, nigga. Michelle is a cool dude, though, not gonna lie. Do you know him? Do you know him? You're talking like you know him. Let me find out you know that nigga. Tell that nigga come on the channel so I could tell him myself. See, that's Tito Trinidad right here. Right? That's how he looked when he was coming up and shit like that. Let me see. Let me see. Yeah, that's a young Tito right here. That's a young Tito. Y'all see it? Yeah, that's a young Tito. And then you can look over at Michelle. he do look like that motherfucker though. That shit. I think he look more like Tito than he do Ali. If we being real, shit, keep it a buck. Who he look like? Yeah, that's corny, bro. Like create your own legacy, create your own lane. You feel what I mean? I just don't be understanding. I don't be understanding. You say he look like Julian Jackson. He look like Yeah, he got the that flat top like Julian Jackson. Yeah, for sure. But Michelle do look like a young Tito Trinidad though. I ain't gonna lie to you. He do. You know what I mean? He resembles young Tito a lot. Tito face kind of like changed that he as he got older and shit, but um he do resemble him. He resembles a young Tito. Who you talking about? Texas, you said he's more dangerous at 54. Who you talking about? All right, let me stop sharing that tab right here. Ralph says, I'm sorry I couldn't have my whole identity be based on another dude. There's being a fan, but it comes to a point where he just D-riding. Yeah, like he on some Stan shit. You know what I mean? Like that Eminem Stan shit. You know how Stan like dyed his hair blonde and you know what I'm saying? All that weird shit, bro. That's what it remind me of. He's more you said Tito was more dangerous at 54? I mean, I don't know, bro. I think like his biggest accomplishments happened at 47. You know what I mean? His title defenses. He wasn't at 54 that long though. You feel what I'm saying? I think he didn't have that many fights at 54. Let's check. Let's check. Because he moved up to 160 pretty quick because he was really trying to get that fight with Bernard Hopkins. You know what I mean? His confidence was at an all-time high. He was looking to prove something. So when we looking at his box rec right here, let's really look at it. So he fought Bernard Hopkins, super welter. Bro, he only had one, two, three. He only had 3 fights at 154. He fought David Reed, he fought Mamadou Thiam, and Fernando Vargas. After he defeated all 3 of those dudes, he moved up to 160 and challenged William Joppy for his WBA. You feel what I mean? That's when he ran into the B-Hop John, and you know what I mean, shit just went downhill from there. But he only fought. I don't think he fought Ricardo. Did he fight? No, he came back after the B-Hop loss and fought Ricardo. You feel me? But I don't even know what weight that was at. Let me see. It's not even showing me. Let me see. I'm not signed into my BoxRec account on this laptop. So let me see. It's gonna tell me the weights right here. He fought Mayorga at 54? Let me see. No, he fought him. It looked like a catch weight because Tito weighed 157 and Mayorga weighed 158. So it sounded like it was a catch weight of 158. That's what it's looking like for real, for real. Unless they both just came in light like that. It was above 54. That's a middleweight contest. One's at 57 and one's at 58. Those knockouts that he had at 54 was devastating though. I don't think he didn't knock out David Reed, but he punished him bad. Mamadou Thiam, he shut his eye within like 2 or 3 rounds. Fernando Vargas, he punished him for 12 rounds, got him out of there in the last round. Trinidad versus Marvin Hagler at 160, Marvin Hagler. Trinidad wasn't a full-fledged middleweight, man. His peak years was at 47 and 54. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of time he spent at 54. He's really one of the I think he's like if we going over accolades, we got to talk about, you know, him being top 2, top 3 greatest welterweights ever. You feel what I'm saying? So, before I wouldn't never classify him as a middleweight. You know what I mean? It's just Marvin Hagler is arguably the greatest middleweight of all time. You feel me? So if you talking about somebody who had like a subpar uh time at middleweight, and then you going up against the greatest middleweight, arguably the greatest middleweight ever, it's hands down Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler had the size advantage. You know what I mean? And Tito did have punching power at 160, but um I don't know if he had the punching power to get somebody like Marvin Hagler's respect, who had a granite chin. You feel me? So, yeah, Marvin Hagler. You know what I mean? Tito, my favorite fighter ever, but you know what I mean. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and think that he could beat everybody because Tito, he was an amazing fighter, one of the greatest. I think he's an all-time great in my opinion, but at the same time, I mean, he was beatable just like everybody else was. You feel me? Marvin Hagler was beatable. We seen him lose. You know what I mean? But yeah. Trinidad number 1, Earl number 2. I don't know if Earl number 2. I don't know if Earl number 2 though, honestly. Um, he probably up there. He up there honestly, but number 2, you probably gonna have to go with like Henry Armstrong because he had a long reign at welterweight as well. Then you gotta talk about, you know, I don't know. I gotta really look at Sugar Ray Leonard and them dudes accolades at 47. But Greatest welterweights ever. I don't know if Earl's number two. I don't know. He's probably the hardest hitting Rican ever, excluding heavyweights. Well, if we talking pound for pound, Wilfredo Gomez has a strong case. He has a strong case for being the hardest Puerto Rican puncher ever. But we also had like Wilfredo Vasquez, who was a hell of a puncher. Miguel Cotto could fucking crack. There's some Puerto Rico has some strong punchers, man. But yeah, Tito definitely up there. I've seen Tito break somebody's hip bone with a body shot. You know what I'm saying? Somebody from Philly by the name of Rodney Moore. You know what I'm saying? He was from Philadelphia. You know what I mean? I had met him a while back, and he told me, you know what I'm saying? That fight's available on YouTube for you to watch. Tito broke his hip bone with a body shot. Bernard Hopkins, somebody who gave Tito his first loss, had an interview where he said that when he said he knew that Tito Trinidad's left hook was extremely strong, so he made it his business to keep his hands up. He kept his right hand up real nice and tight the entire time. When he had took his hand out the glove, his hand was covered in welts from absorbing all those left hooks from Tito Trinidad throughout the course of their fight. You see what I'm saying? So it just goes to show you that power was real. You know what I mean? So um you agree with people who say Trinidad robbed Oscar? Well, Tito didn't rob anybody. You know what I'm saying? That was the judges, for real, for real. So I want to clarify that. But when I was watching the fight, I had watched the fight not too long ago because they just so happened to be giving it at Buffalo Wild Wings. I watched the fight all the way through. And I was like, yeah, De La Hoya did his thing with boxing. You know what I mean? He had early success, but he gave away a lot of those late rounds, bro. A lot of those rounds, them late rounds, they look like they was all Tito. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like Oscar did a great job boxing. He had the recipe, you know what I mean? But he didn't follow through with the whole he ain't follow through with the whole game plan to get that shit cooking right. You feel what I'm saying? Um, he left out some ingredients for sure. I think Tito did what he needed to do. He won those championship rounds. I think he got the W off that. So, a lot of people just be riding with like the narratives that's like really out here and stuff already. They don't do their own research. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's people that be like, oh, Tito had plaster in his hand, that's bullshit. A narrative that came out here when Brother Nazim told you personally that his raps wasn't his raps wasn't you know, plaster or anything like that. It just wasn't in accordance with how the way New York wanted the raps to be. You feel me? So because every commission has different rules on how to wrap hands. So like in Pennsylvania, they want you to wrap your hands one way in comparison to how New York will want you to wrap your hands. So let's say we go to New York and we wrap our hands the way that we're allowed to in Pennsylvania. They could be like, yo, we don't want it that way. You got to wrap it this specific way. You see what I'm saying? That's all that really happened with Tito. And I think what happened with Tito is that he had an extra layer of gauze on his wraps. You feel what I mean? And if anybody knows anything about gauze, it's not gonna help your punching power at all. If anything, it's gonna make your punches softer because you're just putting on like a pillow over your fist. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of narratives that's out here in boxing right now that's not true. People don't do their research. They hear the rumor and they just copy and paste what they hear. You know what I mean? Um, Let me see. Yeah, it was definitely De La Hoya's fault. He gave up them later rounds. Yeah, yeah. He lost that fight. He don't got nobody to blame but himself. Because I even saw some early rounds where it was like it could have went that could have been swung in Tito favor. Lorenzo says, Mark, who do you think would have won if Cotto and Hatton fought back in '05 when both were at 140? I think Miguel Cotto would have beat the dog shit out of Ricky Hatton. I think that Ricky Hatton, if he would have had that aggressive come forward style, letting his hands go and all that, I think he would have left a lot of opportunities for Cotto to crush him. Cotto would have really hit Hatton with some shit. 140 Cotto, nah. Hatton don't got no business being in there with a prime Cotto. Cotto that had the motherfucking hairline? Nah. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a super bad job for Hatton. Hatton would have got put on a highlight reel. That'll be a good question to ask Paulie Malignaggi because he fought both of them. Cotto at 140 was nasty, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I'm not even a fan of Cotto. But yeah, fresh cut Cotto is different. Mm-hmm. Cotto would have hit him with a fuck. Because when Cotto was at 140, he was a real aggressive body puncher. I felt like he pulled back from that as he moved up in weight. It started like getting like all like bounce, you know what I'm saying? Like using his feet and outboxing dudes with his experience. But when he was at 140, he was gritty. Like I've seen Cotto rock at 140, then he'll bounce back. You know what I mean? And get busy with niggas and end up stopping them like Zab Judah. Zab Judah hit Cotto with some mean shit. Cotto had his guard would be like this, like his elbows would be open. You know what I mean? And some Puerto Ricans, they fight like that for some reason. And Zab was just shooting uppercuts right down the middle, bro. Right in the middle. And was just having Cotto do like a little fucking dancey dance and shit. Cotto would get his bearings back and keep putting pressure. Keep putting pressure. He'd run into another uppercut. He rock for a little bit. Put pressure. Cotto was resilient at 140. He was a devastating puncher. You know what I mean? He was relentless. Ricardo Torres, yeah, that's another one. Yo, Ricardo Torres had Cotto knocked out on his feet. Real bad, hurt real bad, and he bounced back and stopped Ricardo Torres. You said you had Cotto beating Canelo? Really? I gave it to Canelo, and the reason why was because you could tell. I think Canelo showed a lot of ring intelligence in there. He was slipping and countering real good, and the pull counters was nasty. He showcased a good box, like a good display of boxing, and Cotto held his own too. But I think what played the difference, what made the difference in that fight was Cotto looked more affected by Canelo's punches than Canelo looked affected by Cotto's punches. There was points in time where Cotto landed some good shit on Canelo, and Canelo did not look phased at all. At all. He hit Cotto was hitting Canelo with some mean shit. And I remember an interview from Floyd. Floyd was like, yo, that fight, they both got like cement in it. It felt like they got cement in their hands. That fight not going the distance. Bro, Cotto, and that's because he fought both of them, obviously. Canelo was not phased by Cotto power at all. But there were certain instances where it looked like Canelo was hurting Cotto, or at least like really getting his attention with certain shots. So I think that's what played the difference, man. The strength, you know what I mean, the size difference. I think that really played it played its part in that fight. You know what I mean? So Cotto did hold his own. You know what I mean? You could give him 4 or 5 rounds or whatever, but I had Canelo convincingly winning that fight. And that was one of Canelo's best performances. Honestly, honestly speaking, like, I'm not a fan of him. I don't fuck with him. I think he a cheater. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, you know what I mean? Like performance enhancement drugs can't help you develop skill. Only work ethic could do that. And he showcased a great he displayed a great um performance of overall boxing ability. He said steroid chain, you crazy. What you mean? What you talking about? What you said about Brooklyn? What he say? What he say about Brooklyn? Yeah. He's saying that shit. Uh, yeah, we got homies from here that's from Brooklyn, man. We don't do none of that. And my pop from Brooklyn, so you know what I mean, niggas gotta switch up there. You know what I mean? At least on this channel, you can't be talking like that. Mm. I like this comment right here. You from Philly, Rudy? He says a lot of Philly fighters are really good fighters, but they left everything in the gym and sparring. There's a saying in Philly, ain't no such thing as play fighting. Mm-hmm. Okay, you from Philly? That's what's up, man. I could tell. I could tell just based off of that comment that you know what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, them gym wars get real in Philly. Somebody, especially if somebody step in my gym that's not from my gym, shit get real. Anything can happen, inside or outside the ring. Trust me. Ain't no friendly shit in these Philly gyms, bro. I'm telling you. If you step into somebody's gym, you gotta be well prepared for whatever scenario might pop up. Should be like a war zone. You know what I mean? If respect ain't really like established or you don't got a good relationship with that person, anything could pop off, bro. I'm telling you. I don't really like to go to other people's gyms unless like I got a real good relationship with them because I don't be trying to deal with like all like the shit hit the fan type shit. You know what I'm saying? But and then another thing with Philly boxing too is a lot of the guys that have potential to be world champion usually don't because they be all these Philly fighters, they take each other out. You know what I'm saying? It'd be undefeated Philly guys fighting each other for like $2,000. You know what I'm saying? When they could honestly just keep building their names, and if they fight at the top, then you know what I'm saying they could cash out. You know what I mean? That right there is an example of marinating, but a marinating that I wouldn't mind. Like I'm not one of the ones that sit here and be like, yo, Keisha, I need to fight Kid Austin. Like they both at the beginning of their careers right now, they need to like really get their shit together and fight guys that's gonna help them grow as fighters. You know what I mean? And if they both end up getting world titles or whatever, then make the fight happen. Who said that? Go. What are you talking about? Go. To be great from Philly, you got to leave Philly. Okay, let's see. Who's the greatest Philadelphia fighter of all time? Me, Bernard Hopkins. In terms of accomplishments, did Bernard leave Philly to be great? No. Danny Garcia. He's a great fighter from Philadelphia. Did he became great based off of what he did? Did he leave Philly? No. Um, Joe Frazier, he didn't leave Philly. He trained right there on Broad and Glenwood, which is like 2 blocks away from my mom's house, where I'm at right now. Like all these great fighters, like when you talking about Meldrick Taylor, you want to talk about David Reed, bro? Name none of them niggas leave Philly, bro. Well, I don't know about David Reed and Meldrick. I don't know if they did, but I know for a fact B Hop didn't. Sonny Liston left Philly. Was he even like originally from Philly? Thought he was born somewhere else. He's from Arkansas. And if we looking at the Philly boxing scene right now, it seems like a lot of people are coming to Philly to be great. Where Andy Cruz? Where Andy Cruz at right now? 2-time gold medalist. Where he at right now? Where was Hitchens just at a couple days ago? Philly. Philly is the real boxing capital. The real boxing capital. You want gas? You come to Philadelphia. Facts. You want to get good work? You come to Philadelphia. Slime on. Go ahead. He drunk. Yeah, go slipping today. I don't know what type of time he on. To be great for Philly, you gotta leave Philly. That's ridiculous. We got all time greats, not just Philly greats. We got all time greats. You feel what I mean? That stood in Philly and became great in Philly. Texas said Philly has a reputation for being a tough city that has a brotherhood like a small town. I mean, yeah, we definitely known as a tough city, and it's essentially because it's like in Philadelphia. I mean, obviously we be having like our shootings and things of that nature, but I mean, everybody knows somebody that boxes. You know what I'm saying? It's a good percentage of people from Philadelphia that could hold their hands and know how to fight because they either came up in boxing gyms, had some experience in boxing gyms, or things like that, or guys who even competed. You know what I'm saying? Like I honestly believe that like within my area, I know at least 3 professional fighters that's active right now. You know what I'm saying? And a ton of amateur fighters. Some of them coming out of my gym, being from other gyms. You see what I'm saying? Like there's like fighters all around the city. So like if you're gonna get into a fight in Philly, you better hope that that person that you fighting is an experience. You feel me? So that's just my personal opinion. Like Philly is a tough city because a lot of these dudes, like there's like fucking 5-year-old kids out here that know how to throw like a 1, 2, 3. These niggas know how to throw combinations. They could punch in combinations while being in position and everything. You feel me? Yeah, Philly definitely got a yeah, yeah, for sure. Like this we really be feared by other cities too. Cause I'm gonna tell you this: we did like a team combat league, John, one time where like our city was going up against like other cities and stuff like that, and there were people that were from other teams that were flying to Philadelphia to watch us train, and they were like, "Oh, that's not the team that we should be fighting first. You know, we should try to all see each other at the end type shit." What the hell? I was like, "What is going on?" Like, yo, every city was so concerned about like our fighters and what we was doing and how we was preparing for fights. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Rudy G says, when I was coming up, you learned in the streets as a little kid, we slap boxed and body boxed every day. I mean, yeah, that's something we definitely did. Slap boxing was tradition. For real, for real. Saying New York, a lot of slap box. Yeah, I'm sure they came up the same way. New York, not that far from Philly, man. I be getting to New York in like an hour and some change, bro. Not even an hour and a half. I'll be over there. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, the accent's different, the slang different, and all that. But I mean, I feel like Philadelphia also has a lot in common with New York. Hmm. Shit, in Philly, you slap somebody too hard, that shit gonna be a full out rumble. That shit happened to me a couple times. Where I slapped somebody too hard, then all of a sudden they eyes tearing up, and now they throwing like you still slap boxing them, and they throwing full fledged punches at you. I'm like, yo, hold up, nigga. Now I gotta start closing my fists and throwing bombs at him, and shit used to go left all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna ask y'all this. I'm gonna ask y'all this. They saying who Shakur fighting next? Well, according to the article I just read a little bit earlier, it said that the opponent is to be determined, but he should be fighting in June. And I had went down like a list of opponents. It seemed like a lot of these guys are caught up with other opponents. seems like the only likely fight to happen at this point in time is against Raymond Mordecai. Now, is Shakur Stevenson going to be motivated or interested in taking that type of fight against somebody who's relatively unknown amongst casual boxing fans? Probably not, because he feels like if he beats Mordecai, he might not get any credit for it. So if that's the case, you might as well rematch De Los Santos. Prove us wrong that we think that you scared of punchers. You feel me? Because there's a stigma going around about you that when you go up against punchers, you know what I mean, you get real mobile and you become real hesitant and you're reluctant to let your hands go. So if you want to get rid of that stigma and really right your wrongs, rematch De Los Santos. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like you was optimistic about it when you was going back and forth in the DMs about him. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know who he gonna fight next, but I mean, hopefully it's somebody good or worth watching. But I'm gonna ask you guys right here. Canelo's supposed to be making a big announcement tomorrow afternoon. What do you think this announcement is? Because it could be a few things. It could be that he's leaving PBC. It could be that he's fighting Jamal Charlo. That's pretty much what I got it down to. What do y'all think it is? Y'all tell me what the announcement could possibly be. Me personally, I think he's leaving PBC. You know what I mean? Because I don't think they're going to give him the type of money that he's looking for at this time. So I think he's going to go back down the Eddie Hearn route. But what do y'all think this announcement is? Shout out to my boy Lorenzo with the $5 super chat. He said, if you can make a Super 6 tournament, what will be the weight class of participants? Fighters can move up or down in weight class to participate. Oh, that's a great question, Lorenzo. For real, I'm doing 140. I think that's the hottest division in boxing right now. I'm doing a Super 6 tournament. Of course, with all the champions, you know what I mean? We're going to line up Subriel, Devin, Rowley, and Tiafimo. We're going to line them four up, and then we're going to throw two big names in there. We could throw Shakur Stevenson along with Javante Davis. That's it. Beautiful. Super 6 tournament right there. Let's get that shit popping. That'll be the best Super 6 tournament in fucking Super 6 tournament history right there. Think about that shit, y'all. I said Subriel, Devin, Rowley, Tiafimo, Shakur Stevenson moving up to 140 because he said he'll fight Tiafimo, so why not? And Javante Davis, who has a history of fighting at 140. Fire. Fire, bro. Come on now. And there's so much smoke. Yeah, Rudy, that's a good one. Gary Antoine Russell, Richardson Hitchens, Michelle Rivera's there. You know what I'm saying? Even they even got some solid names. Like let's look through the rankings at 140 right now. You feel me? Let's look at the rankings right now. I'm gonna put Devin Haney name on Box Wreck because he's gonna be ranked at the 140-pound division. Ah, shit. It's not allowing me. Let me see. Yeah, let me use this. Okay. Let's put Devin Haney name again. Let's see who else could be mentioned at 140. Okay. Devin Haney is currently number 1 in the world right now at 140 pounds, according to Box Wreck. Bro, we still got Regis Prograis, Ryan Garcia, Jose Ramirez, of course, Jermaine Ortiz, Josh Taylor, Arnold Barbosa, Sandor Martin. Come on, bro. Liam Paro. Like, bro, come on. 140 is a division to do that shit in, bro. Kenneth Sims, that's another good one. That's a great name right there. He slept on. He been looking for smoke himself, waiting for an opportunity. Because the last time he got an opportunity, it was against that undefeated kid that was at top rank, Elvis Rodriguez. And what he do? He beat the dog shit out of Elvis Rodriguez and was the main reason why Elvis went on to get dropped from top rank after that. Well, they saying Subarel's about to fight Liam Paro, so I think Subarel done took that from Jermaine. Um, Mr. Danny Gunn said, "What happened to Xander Zayas?" Nothing. You know what I mean? He's currently at 154 pounds. Um, his last performance was sensational, to say the least. You know what I mean? In my honest opinion, it was a great performance from him. And apparently, from the last time I heard Xander Zayas speak, and I'm gonna say this too. I was trying to get Xander Zayas on here, but you know, he really got some like people and his team that just make it extremely difficult to get in touch with this dude or to have an interview with him. You know what I mean? And it's really been bothering me. You feel what I mean? Because I rock with Xander Zayas heavy, and you know, I was trying to bring him on the platform. I'm sure he would have been cool with it, but like his team, they make shit so difficult to get shit done. It's like they only want specific people to be speaking to Xander. And then when I really started to think about it, I'm like, oh, Xander don't really do interviews with anybody, period. So, you know, I wonder why. I wonder why they make it so difficult to interview this dude. Is it does he just don't fuck with interviews? Like, what is it? I don't get it. But regardless, you know, I try to bring him on, but you know, his team just makes shit extremely difficult. But he had just fought at the end of this year. So he just fought like 2 months ago and he put on a great performance against Jorge Fortia. But apparently after the fight, he had said that he was gonna fight Patrick Teixeira, who was a former world champion at 154 pounds. I think that he beat Carlos Adames for the belt, and then Brian Castano went on to beat Patrick Teixeira afterwards and unify with Jamel after that. So you feel me? So we're gonna have to see what's up. We're gonna have to see what's up, man. I don't know. There's nothing that's been announced yet. I don't see no announcements on Box Wreck, but I'm sure Xander will be fighting soon. You know what I mean? They keep him active for the most part, and he stay in the gym, so I'm sure he'll get an announcement soon. You could tell Top Rank and Xander Zayas got a good relationship for sure. Texas said, "Don't feel pressure for interviews." No, not necessarily, bro. I just want to keep the content going. Like if I don't do no interviews, that's cool. You know what I mean? I already got Bomac on my channel. You know what I mean? I got Breadman on my channel that's available to watch. Uh, Bill Haney made an appearance. You know what I mean? So I got a good amount of for the little bit of subscribers that I have. I do have some great names that I've interviewed. You feel what I mean? But I just want to keep shit going. You know what I mean? I want to keep, you know what I mean, stay in people's faces. You know what I mean? Pause. Just, you know, just keep Mazuma TV out there so I can get the so people can continue watching. And I have access to multiple fighters. Multiple fighters I've had access to within reach. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, there's a lot of roadblocks on the way. I see why a lot of these channels just don't be rocking with doing interviews and stuff like that. It's extremely difficult to get past all these people that's supposedly a part of the team. You know what I mean? I got to talk to for me to get an interview with this guy. I got to talk to A, and then after I talk to A, then I got to get click. Then I got to reach out to B to see if that's okay. And then after I talk to B, B has to reach out to C to get approval. And bro, that shit is too much, bro. Like, come on, man. Shout out to Bomac because I know somebody that has a really good relationship with Bo, and she hooked me up right away with the interview, bro. And initially, he didn't want to give me his number, which I understood. I understood, you know what I mean? He don't know me. You feel me? So I was like, yeah, I said, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need his number or anything like that. Just, I mean, you could just play messenger, I guess. Like, tell him that I would like to do it on this day at this time. And I guess Bo fucked with how the way I was cool about it. So, you know what I mean? He was like, you know what, man, just give him my number, man. Don't even worry about it. And he told me after we finished up the interview on here and shit. He was like, "Yo, don't be giving out my number to nobody, man." I'm like, "Bro, you ain't even gotta worry about that. I'm not even gonna hit you up if it ain't for an interview or nothing like that. I'm not one of them people that just gonna be blowing up your phone, worried about what you doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just grateful that you gave me the opportunity. And really thinking about it, Bomac don't even like doing interviews. You feel me? Bomac did a 40-minute interview with me. And there was people commenting like, yo, I never seen Bomac do an interview this long. And I honestly believe it's because my approach be different. You know what I'm saying? My approach be different. We could relate because we both coaches. You know, obviously we at different levels. I'm at the prospect, like coming up stage. He's like fucking Hall of Fame stage right now. One of the best trainers in the world, if not the best trainer in the world. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess the questions I ask. Anonymous said, hell yeah, Bomac's kind of like J. Cole with interviews. He don't like him. Yeah, you could tell he be walking away from people and everything. But you know, he was real chill, bro. Real chill. And allowed me to ask every question that I had written down. And he answered every one of them thoroughly. Like he didn't brush off none of the questions, nothing. Hmm. He said when the goat Bill Haney, he said the goat Bill Haney. That's hilarious. Joined out of the blue. That was tough. Yeah, that was tough. That was a good moment for me. That was a good moment for us, not me. Fuck that. That was a good moment for us, for the nation, for the mob, for sure. He was like, "What is this, Mazuma Nation?" So I was like, "How? That's not." I wonder if that gave me the impression that he actually be watching. You feel what I'm saying? Because I didn't say my channel is not called Mazuma Nation. I didn't mention the nation the entire live. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, so how the hell he knew it was Mazuma Nation? It's probably because he be watching my videos that got to do with his son. And he probably hears like my intros and I'll be talking during the video. I'll be like, yo, shout out to the nation, shout out to the mob. We in the building for sure, blah, blah, blah. He's like, what's your channel called? Mazuma Nation? So I thought that was pretty funny because I was like, yo, I never even mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? And what I liked about Bomac for real, what I liked about Bomac for real was that when I was trying to give him credit for like being like one of the best trainers in boxing, he'd be like, nah, man, it ain't just me, you know what I'm saying? Um, he made it clear that he don't give a fuck about the recognition or anything. He just care about his fighter shining, which is something that I say all the time. Like whenever my fighters don't won tournaments and shit like that, and I'll exclude myself from the pictures. They'd be like, yo, why are you doing that? I said, because it's not about me. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care. You know what I mean? I just want my fighters to look good. I want them to be the ones that's flashing the trophies and being in the center of the ring with their belts and stuff like that. I don't really care for the recognition. But at the same time, if they see that my fighters could fight, they're gonna be like, damn, well, who trained them? And I'm gonna get the credit for that at the end of the day. You feel me? So I ain't really tripping about it at all. I exclude myself from pictures. I let them get their shine. You know what I mean? There's times where guys wanted to interview my fighters, and I was like, yeah, go ahead. They're like, you're not going, nah, I don't, for what? Bro, I got hundreds of interviews online. All you gotta do is type Mark Rosen. There's a whole bunch of them online from back when I was 20 all the way to 26. Like that nothing changed. Yo, you being messy, slime. For sure. For sure. So that was a great moment, man. I'm looking forward whenever Terrence Crawford has a fight announcement or things of that nature, bro. I'm gonna reach out to him and see if we could do something soon. Yeah, slime being messy as hell. But anyway, I mean, you know, I spoke on everything I needed to speak about. On honestly, like honestly speaking, I mean, Bob Arum expects Shakur Stevenson to sign an extension with Tyrone. He's very confident, so let's be on the lookout for that because it might be an announcement soon within the next few months that reveals that Shakur Stevenson signs an extension deal with Top Rank. It seems like him and Bob Arum and James Prince have a really good relationship, so maybe James Prince will convince Shakur to stay another few years with Top Rank. Who knows? We're gonna have to see exactly what's going on with that. Um, Canelo is making a big announcement. He's making a big announcement soon. You feel what I'm saying? Um, so we got to be on the lookout for that. Which, whenever it is announced, I'll be making a video and having my reaction to that as well. You feel me? So be on the lookout for that though, man. I had a great conversation with you guys, man. Yeah, niggas definitely be beefing with themselves, Ree. But we're gonna talk about that on the group chat after this shit. You know what I mean? We don't gotta be putting everything out on here and you know what I mean, talking about niggas because that's not, you know what I mean, we relevant without them niggas, so we don't need to speak on them. You feel me? But I had a great live, y'all. I appreciate you guys tuning in. There's 22 people in the building. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody that stood on the entire time, man. You know what I'm saying? It's currently 12:30 in the morning in Philadelphia, but you guys are still watching. It is very much appreciated on my end for you guys staying on and conversating with the boy. You know what I mean? Shout out to the nation, shout out to the mob for sure. I'll be back with some videos in the morning, man. Check out the videos that I just dropped. You feel what I mean? Not too long ago, speaking about Conor Ben and Javante Davis with Tank essentially ducking Conor Ben. Also put out a short that was created by the person that's behind Mazuma TV clips on TikTok. You know what I mean? So check that out as well, man. I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful night. You know what I mean? Y'all be safe out here, man. And that's essentially it, man. Shout out to Nation, shout out to the mob. Y'all have a great night. I'm out of here, man. Peace.